Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. In this 2026 edition of Seen&Heard podcast live show.
Hello, hello. Happy new season of Seen and Heard. I'm sure this
It's
is
not
the
a new
most
season, it's new year.
new year of
Ah,
Seen and Heard. I know that this is the one thing everyone's been waiting for their 2026 to actually start. So thank you all for coming. Say hi to us in the chat. Today we have a special guest, Roko Puharic. Roko, could you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, hello to everybody. Thanks for having me. My name is Roko Puharic, and I am a graphic designer, a student, and these days I would like to describe myself as an influencer.
You're our first influencer on the show, I think,
I,
self-declared anyway.
yeah,
I was going to say the same thing. First time we have an influencer here today. So yeah, great. Great, Rocco.
yeah, still small.
We need to have these dance moves, right?
Yeah, you need to tell us what to do. What does that mean today? What does it mean to be an influencer?
To be an influencer, I would say, is just to have to start speaking in front of a camera and post it on TikTok. I think it doesn't get any easier than that. And to have some kind of niche, I guess, something to talk about, something to bring to the world. And I guess I found myself in that world of graphic design, and I talk about that mostly.
So people can find you on TikTok, on Instagram.
Yes, those are my main platforms. I also have a YouTube, but mostly TikTok and Instagram is where I'm most active.
Why not LinkedIn? Are influencers not on LinkedIn? Well, today
Well,
you are. We are
yeah.
introducing you, but in general,
Well, up till now, I didn't have any experience really on LinkedIn. I felt like my target demographic wasn't on there, but I think I have to get used to that platform as well. I think a lot of opportunities, different opportunities, wait for me on there as well. So I have to get used to it.
hello LinkedIn, connect with
Yeah.
Roko. Show him that we're not too old and too serious. We have hi from Sanya the mother, and we have good morning from Natasha, your colleague, a graphic designer. Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you. How are TikTok and Instagram different? Tell us a bit about this. I think a lot of our audience is just on LinkedIn, so maybe they'll be curious.
Well, TikTok and Instagram on the surface, I would say, are pretty similar. They are trying to be a lot more similar these days. For example, TikTok and Instagram have those reels or TikToks, the short form video content. But I would say TikTok is more dependent on that kind of format, where Instagram is, I think, better for photos, and at least in my experience, I use it to show my work. So Instagram is for me better to use it as some kind of portfolio for my works, where TikTok is more to kind of talk about things, and I find it better for people to find me, I guess I could say like that.
Okay, so Instagram is like a showcase of what you do professionally, and
Yeah.
TikTok is to connect with your target audience. And who is your target audience? You have a very interesting niche.
Yeah. So firstly, I started mainly as showing my work. So I didn't show my face, for example. And after a while, I recognized that if I just press play on my camera and show my face and talk about stuff, a lot more people can connect that way if they see someone. And what was the question? I'm so sorry.
About your niche,
Yeah.
who target.
So firstly, I was really set on one niche, and that was graphic design. And as time goes on, I became a lot more experimental and kind of I try to expand my niche and talk about different stuff, some life experience, some motivational stuff, and a lot more. Every day I try to do something different to see if it sticks. If it doesn't stick, and I think all of that combined makes me unique in on that platform, and you could say I'm creating my own niche, something you can only get if you watch strictly me and not anywhere else.
You said in the start you started without showing yourself on camera,
Yeah.
and did something change when you shown yourself on camera?
Yeah, a lot more for followers and views, and
You lost
again,
more followers.
no, a lot more I gained.
You gained
Yeah,
followers.
gained, yeah. Because at the start I started by not talking at all, and then I started talking through my mascot. My mascot is called Roko. It's kind of a illustration of a crocodile, and I kind of, when I talk, his mouth would open, and kind of I broke through that ice of speaking in front of a camera. I spoke in Croatian because I felt more comfortable. And then after a while, I decided it's much easier to just turn on the camera and talk than to do all the technical stuff to make my character talk.
Here he is, the little cute thingy.
Yeah, and it's interesting that it's easier to just stand before the camera and talk.
Why is it easier? How did it feel the first time?
It felt awkward as for everybody, I think, but the more you talk to the camera, the easier it gets. That's with everything, with graphic design and so on. I hated the sound of my voice and everything like that. But after a while, you imagine someone close to you, like you're speaking to a friend when you speak to the camera. And really, after maybe 1 week of daily exposure, I think I kind of got used to it. Sometimes it goes better, sometimes it's not so good, but I think right now I'm pretty comfortable.
So just a week of experimenting is enough to relax a bit into it.
I think, in my experience at least.
Nice. I think that's encouraging for a lot of people who will.
Did you get some negative comments when you started showing yourself on the camera instead of Croco, the mascot?
Yeah, of course. There's a lot of different kind of people. Some smarter, some the other way around on that platform, and I just didn't let that affect me. I think as Gen Z, I guess that's my generation. You grew up reading those comments, not directly, not directed to yourself, but in general, being on YouTube, on these kind of platforms, you get a feel for what people usually say, and if you know to expect it, I think it doesn't really you don't feel anything by it. You feel encouraged by the positive comments and kind of ignore the negative.
Okay, and we as let's say older people, what can we expect in these negative comments that you used to? So, what does it sound like? Is it really mean? And what is it about actually?
I find that these people usually are not that pleased with themselves, and they have to project some kind of negative, uh, anything negative into the world. And I just happened to be on their For You page that day, and they choose anything from the way my hair is to the way I sound, my glasses. It doesn't have to have any relevance to the video, but they will find a way to turn a negative narrative, and you really see what kind of people that are, and it shouldn't affect you really. It's not like constructive criticism most of the time. Sometimes it is, and that is really helpful. I wouldn't find that like a negative comment. That's a positive in my book, but it's usually just meaningless, I guess.
How do the positive comments look? Do any of those lead to cooperation? Because a lot of people say, okay, people say hi on my videos and such, but I don't get anything for my business. So how does it work in that sense?
Yeah, of course, a lot of positive comments, people who reach out to me through my DMs or in my comments. I actually became friends with them and kind of work together, talk about stuff in our niches, and it's really pleasant to work with, to talk in general with people who like your work, respect you, and you always learn something new. And it's a great feeling when people respect you, when people like your work. Just yesterday, I was surprised with one gentleman, one young guy, approaching me and saying he recognized me from TikTok. That was in Zagreb, and that was the first time that somebody outside my town recognized me from my work, and he said he likes it, and it's really encouraging to keep going and motivating.
Oh, the pleasures of being an influencer, the famous influencer. So you're recognized all over Croatia and all over the world. You said you started in Croatian. Are you still? Is your TikTok in Croatian, or have you expanded?
Yeah, my TikTok is in Croatian, but Instagram, when I post my works, I put the captions on Croatian and on English, just so people can find me more globally.
And has English helped with your reach? Do people DM you in English?
Of course, because I put my bio that I'm available for work in English, a lot of English people reach out to me all the time for design work, and being able to communicate with them and speak with them, especially meant a lot in the start. I didn't think if I didn't have this level of understanding. My English is not perfect, but I can always understand people, that it would be much slower for me to start actually making something happen in this field.
Would you say it's helped you learn from other people from around the world, or does it have some other advantages?
Yeah, learning definitely, because on TikTok and Instagram, especially, you can find a lot of helpful videos in English, what uh, that teach you about design, about content creation, how to speak with the camera, stuff like that. Everything I needed at the start to make myself a lot more comfortable. And if I didn't know English, I think it would be much harder to start and understand what to do. Eventually, I would get it, but right now, it came a lot faster.
Nice. And what about Croatian? Has it helped on TikTok? Because I would guess that there aren't that many creators who make content in Croatian, especially for graphic design.
Yeah, they are. I noticed quite only a few creators that make graphic design content, and I felt like I could contribute that niche. And I think 2 months of making content right now, when you type in graphic design in Croatian to the search bar, I think I'm one of the first people that come up. So yeah, not so many people do it, and I think that's a shame, because it's a really interesting field, really creative. A lot of people can learn so much from it, and it's a shame that not a lot of people speak about it like I do.
Why do you think this is so? Why is, well, it's a creative industry. It makes sense that it's online. So why do you think it isn't?
I think people are just not used to using their voice, seeing their face on these platforms. They are nervous, as I was, and people, for example, in college for graphic design, the professors don't teach you that it can be really helpful to put yourself out there, to put your work out there, and to build sort of a personal brand for yourself. And I found that that is maybe the best way to start in this field, not necessarily only in graphic design. If you do IT, if you any kind of creative person, I think if you speak about it on platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and whatever you fancy, someone might like Facebook more, you can find success pretty quick, some kind of success.
We are on a track for that.
This is our year.
We're trying to be this quick success, but it doesn't work yet.
Yeah.
So we need to go to Instagram and TikTok, as it seems to be. Is it actually that we do, yeah, and dance? Well, I don't know what moves this week or this month. How should we
I'm not
dance?
sure. I didn't look into it
Come
because
on,
I was
you're an
on break.
influencer. You know
I
these
know.
moves, whatever it is. No,
I will be the one
no.
who sets the trend, so I will send to you.
Okay, so we will listen to you, oh, you grand master of TikTok dances. Please show us what we should do now.
Right now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay, so you said that you're not learning in school, that you need to actually show yourself and your work to others, and this is what perhaps is lacking for most people when they start to learn. And what would you recommend to others where they should start? Is it social media? Is it actually the social media that is that must be the output where you should show, or are there somehow some other channels where you can show it?
Well, I think in this day and age, social media is the easiest. In school, they teach us you have to build your portfolio to kind of be a good graphic designer, and with that portfolio, you can come to companies and they can hire you or not hire you. I think if you start doing social media, you can basically do two things at once. You can practice building your portfolio and post that on social media, so a lot more people can see your work. I think it's important just to start, no matter how messy it might be at the start. When I started, I didn't have anything planned out, how like the formats, how would I post, when will I post, how would that look like. I just started and experimented in new ways and tried the different things, and at the end of the day you really figure something out, something that works for you, and the earlier you start, the better. The one thing I regret is just that I didn't start earlier showing my work to people.
Yeah, I can relate to feeling I'm also about 40 years late, so whatever. But okay, you said that in school they teach you to actually build your portfolio to show to companies to get employed there.
Yeah.
And is it when you are building your personal brand, you're going a bit of a different path to actually being a freelancer and not being employed anywhere?
Yeah, that's the start of it. You, for in my case, I offer my services to people, and yeah, that would be a freelancer right now. But I think that could very easily lead to some kind of a job or anything like that if somebody notices me. I think a lot of people would be surprised who might be watching and what kind of people might reach out to you if you post on social media. Because the reach out there, especially on TikTok, in my experience, is simply amazing. Like people who I didn't expect I would talk to in a million of years reach out to me, liking my work, and that's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, and this podcast is just a prime example of this.
Of
So,
course, of
yeah.
course.
If we weren't watching on TikTok, we would have never found you. So, but talking about social media, and what I see many people have problem with is that you not don't need only to be an expert in your job, which is graphic design in your case, but also in all those other areas to be visual, to be visible on social media. Like you need to be a cameraman, you need to be editing videos, you need to, I don't know. Add photographs, also be a photographer, and everything else. So, is it a bit too much for people to start with?
Well, I can only talk right now from my experience and me being a creative person, a graphic designer. I like to learn a lot of different things that I necessarily didn't have a lot of interest in, but I find kind of interesting if I get into it. So right now, when I'm posting, for example, a video, I have to be conscious about how I put my camera, how I look on camera. So little bit of filmmaking, and then after I have to edit those videos. I edit them myself. Of course, you can always maybe hire someone or something like that. But when starting out, I think that's not really necessary. And with being like with video editing, of course, I also have to do my work, which is graphic design, to make these posters and everything. So a lot of different kind of fields you combine to one to actually be a TikToker, Instagram influencer, or something like that. It doesn't have to be really advanced. You don't have to know everything about video editing or everything about filmmaking to be good. Just some basics, and those basics come a long way when starting out. And I think with time you will become better in those things when you do it a lot.
Do people react better to unpolished videos of yours that were kind of made in the inspiration moment, or the ones that you spent more time on to make look a bit more standard in a way?
Well, if you asked me some time ago, I would say mostly polished, unpolished, and unexpected videos go better. But you really don't know. Some days it's the videos you really put your heart and soul into that actually perform well, and the other days, and I would say most of the time, it's the ones that you weren't expecting to blow up, the ones that not so much effort went into that. But that's the thing. That's why you have to be consistent. because you don't know, you don't know when it's your day, when it's your day that your first video, for example, blows up, and everything kind of snowballs into you becoming a name in that industry. So I would say mostly the unexpected, the unpolished videos are the ones that do better in general.
So we need to stop scheduling our podcast sessions and just show up in people's
You never
feeds.
know. If you don't try, you never know.
Okay, lesson learned.
I'm in for that. So, yeah,
I know
let's do
you
it.
are. No doubt there, Darko. We can arrange something. Roko is our hope to bring us to TikTok and Instagram and help us blow up after I don't know how many years now of audio and video content. So if this doesn't work in 2026, this is a message to all of our audience. You might not see us anymore. So
You will have
click
to
away.
watch for us when we just pop up out of nowhere. There we are.
Okay. We have Vishnu with us as well this morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. Especially now that we threatened everyone that we'll stop. Now, Darko already asked you about all of these different things that you need to learn. And we talked about college not preparing you for the social media presence that really helps. What about for these other roles? Is education changing? We're a bit old. We're not aware of what's happening. Are they preparing you to have all these different skills, or do they focus on just graphic design?
Yeah, I would say it depends on the college, but in my experience, again, it's a newer one and a newer system where you learn a lot of different things at once, which I really like. I think focusing on one thing so heavily, it's not so good. I think you need to kind of dip your toes in a lot of different areas, and because you would be surprised which area might interest you. For example, I didn't have such an interest in video creation up until I had a class called experimental video, where we did a lot of creative things with video, and it kind of woke up an interest in me. So something I found myself in creating video, and I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know if I simply didn't try, if I didn't have that experience, that opportunity to try, and that goes with many other things. I think it's enough to try, to owe yourself the opportunity to learn and kind of find yourself in stuff you like to do.
Have you inspired any of your colleagues or peers to also try social media and just being out there a bit more?
Yeah, I'm very vocal about that. People still they're scared, of course, like I was, but I think there's not a lot of negatives that can come from that, from putting yourself out there. The only thing you can do is learn. So yeah, I noticed some people to notice my work and kind of not exactly copy it, but to feel as inspired by it. And I'm always talking to my friends that they should start posting about something they found interesting, because again, only good things can come from that, in my opinion.
Okay, so we might see more graphic design content on TikTok. So who's people who are interested should have a little look at the Croatian scene there.
Yes.
This conversation wouldn't be complete without us mentioning AI, I suppose, because in most creative fields today, it's something that's talked about. Do you see this as a threat? Do you see any AI generated videos as competition? How does the younger generation feel about this?
Yeah, AI is a heavy.
Oh, did we lose Roko?
Yeah,
The
we were
AI
just.
overlords.
He just said what he needed to say, and that's it. So AI is heavy. Okay. I wanted to say, what do you mean we can't get without this topic? I thought you were going to talk about food. I mean, really?
It wasn't time for that until.
He'll come back.
Hello?
Yeah. And no. Where are you, Roko?
Happened. It's.
I think we're both clicking. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're back.
It kind of. Yeah. He just said, I lost my connection. Not sure why.
Because we mentioned AI.
Yeah, probably. It sabotaged me.
All right. We're back now. So tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what I was saying before, but in general, I wanted to say that AI felt really threatening up until this point because it could do, I guess, what us graphic designers could. At least that's what people think. But I feel that it will never be exactly like a human doing it because you are far less in control. And these days, I notice a lot of backlash when I see people post AI content. If it's video or graphic design, people notice it is AI, and when they notice, they are fast to criticize it because it's kind of a cheap way out. I think if you use it like a lot, if the most of your stuff comes from AI, people find it like a cheap solution to your work, and people find human-made stuff a lot more. They like it a lot more. They like when something creative comes from a human, and vice versa. They don't like AI. I think the term is AI slop nowadays when you see AI content that is not good, that you can see from a mile away it's created by AI.
You said something very interesting, and it's not being talked about enough. AI, you don't have control with AI. So you put some prompt and something spits out. No, it's not exactly what I wanted. I wanted this part, but with different part, and you put it back and you get something completely different. Is it with the graphic design tools the same?
Well, depends on the tool. I think there are some tools for example, in every major big program nowadays, for example, Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, there are some AI tools, and I think them being tools it's nice to have some part of your work to be easier if you use it correctly. If you want to expand a little bit of the sky, for example, on one image, you can use your AI and it will do a great job. The problem I see is when you want to generate the whole image with AI, and exactly that, you don't get what you exactly wanted and what you visualize as a designer. Yes, you can come to some kind of compromise with AI after you write 30 prompts and come out with something looking okay, but it will never be exactly what you imagined, and I think that's simply where humans will be irreplaceable. There will have to be some kind of human intervention, at least to fix something you don't like, and I think that will be the way moving forward. Human made stuff with the assistance of AI, I don't find anything wrong with that necessarily. But strictly AI, 100% made content is where people is where the bad stuff is, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Now that we've covered that big topic of AI, whatever it is, I think everyone is just bored with it. We had some insider information on the main topic of the show, and could you please say something more about cheese, as there seems to be something about it?
Cheese. Cheese is a great stuff. I like cheese, and I think
We
this is
all love
some
cheese.
yeah. And this is some kind of internal family joke that my mother wrote. That's my comment on it.
Very diplomatic.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Professional.
going to go deeper on it. So, is it maybe a fresh cheese like cottage cheese, or is it something like more in Gouda, small, or I don't know, some pecorino, something like that? What kind of cheese?
My favorite is actually Emmentaler, I think,
Oh,
right now.
with
But
big holes.
yeah. That's the classic cheese. When I think of cheese, I think about that one. But I think Edita is a lot more knowledgeable in that topic.
Yeah, but it's Emmentaler is very graphical with those random holes, smaller, bigger. So yeah, I see the connection there.
Yeah.
It's a good representation of cheese, like a really hard-hitting one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see them in cartoons because otherwise you will see this yellowish white blob, and what is it? And you see Emmentaler, oh, it's cheese. So Edita just loves this part of a show when we start talking about food.
I'm just waiting for Darko to ask another food-related question.
Okay, no, okay.
This is where his heart is, and he needs to start.
Let's go back to the program. Okay.
We talked a lot about your background and what you like doing and what you show on social media, but what do you actually offer as a service, and what kind of things have you been up to business-wise?
Yeah, so I'm open for a lot of design work, nothing too specific. I always like to learn new stuff, but these days I my specialty is making cover art for artists, mainly those like rappers and stuff like that I listen to. They come to me wanting something for their songs, something that will represent their song in a good way, something that will be of equal value of their song to represent them visually, so they can put that on Spotify, YouTube, whatever platform they use for streaming their music. And I would say that's the main thing right now. Same as making posters and a lot of stuff. I also create merchandise design, and like I said, I'm open to any kind of work. I think when I set my mind to it, I can produce some quality stuff.
Yeah, we have a comment about cheese. You can talk when you eat Emmentaler because of the holes. I just wanted to show it because I wanted to get back to the part when you were talking that we actually need to be everything: photographer, videographer, video editor. And do you really feel that everyone needs to be this way? Because you are a creative person and you're learning this stuff as a student, but someone who is maybe a bit more technical in IT or otherwise just doing something else, who doesn't want to go with computers or cameras. Do you feel that there is a place for people like you who can help them with video editing, with the graphic design, and so they don't need to do everything themselves on social media?
Of course, I think that's the case where people can be experts in one field, like really good at one particular thing or multiple, and they simply don't find interest in the other thing, like video editing, like posting on social media. That's where people like myself who like those kind of things can come in and help them with whatever they are trying to achieve, to make their field more known, to make their profession more recognizable to other people. So that's definitely the other possibility, where people simply don't find interest in that kind of stuff, even though I would encourage people to at least try and see if they can manage on their own, for example, the part of posting on social media, and then they can come to a conclusion where they say, okay, this is not for me, I will have somebody else do that part.
At least to realize if they know how to delegate later on, because if they if they meddle too much in the process, then maybe they don't need help. I think that can be a case for a lot of people.
Yep.
If people want to find you and want some help with editing videos and other things, here are your contact links. Do you have a favorite link of these where you are spend the most of your time, or?
Most of my time is spent on TikTok, but I wouldn't particularly say that platform is so good when it comes to contacting me. I think through email or Instagram is kind of more professional, a platform when you can talk without any restrictions, and that's where people, if interested in my work, in my services, can contact me.
Also here on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
hopefully. You are quite new here, so if people want to connect and build a network with Roko on LinkedIn as well, please do. Okay, I'll leave it up for a bit more. Here we go. I'll put the link in the chat as well, just in case somebody can't scan it. Okay.
I opened the link and there is a link to TikTok, to Instagram, and other things, YouTube. And what I would like to ask you, just looking at your TikTok page, do we need to go to extremes with social media to just, let's say, surprise people with something? Because I see one of your videos has the big text, decide that you don't care, but a bit more, let's say, harsher in creation. But do we need to go into such extreme to shock other people to be seen on social media?
No, I don't think so. I think you can approach it in many different ways, from humor, being funny, to even the complete opposite. So if you don't like, for example, shocking people, you can be like a calming person who will make their brand about feeling calm, for example. And also some people prefer that. That way I try a lot of different things, and some people are pretty universal. Some things are pretty universal in the way they work. For example, you want to kind of hook in people at the start of your videos, for example, in the first 3 seconds, because the way a platform like TikTok works is it's really fast. You can just scroll and on to the next video if you don't find the first video interesting, and you need to kind of make yourself interesting so people actually watch your content. So that's what I find effective.
Okay, just need to hook him in, whatever it is, with you need to. Okay, and I'm sure that Edita doesn't want to ask you about this, but how much does English knowledge actually influences our visibility on the internet these days?
I would say a lot, because it's really the language of the internet. When you speak with somebody through the internet, 90% of the time, I feel it's in English. When you want to connect, when you want to make something happen, so being versatile in English is really helpful, and only good stuff can come from it. And I think it would be a lot harder if, for example, I didn't know English so well, to find my place, to kind of communicate with people. It would be a lot harder.
Oh, okay. Because these days, with AI, we get back to the AI. It seems that it's really, you don't need to know any other language because everything can be translated directly, even even on the street with other people who come from different countries. They just auto translate what you're talking and they show you what they mean. So English is still really needed.
I think so. It's really valuable. Of course, there's always workarounds, but for example, in that case where you can have an AI translate things to you, it's also an extra step in your understanding, and you're not really sure if the AI completely and truly translated the thing you want translated the way it should be. So knowing exactly what is being said and saying back the things you want to in your way, you want to, not through AI. I think it's valuable.
Yeah, so we should just stay clear of AI also here as much as
Yeah,
possible.
maybe. Yeah.
We have another person joining. Barbara, good morning. Another colleague of yours, Roko. So you can connect later on LinkedIn as well.
Of course.
It's nice to
Or on
see different
TikTok.
generations. Yeah, Barbara might be on TikTok. I'm not sure. She says we must always check AI responses. I agree with Roko. It's not just about accuracy, right? It's about immediacy as well. If you want to connect with people, that extra step of finding the right words and whatever, it breaks the spell. It breaks the
Yeah.
immediacy and the magic of the moment. So there's that as well. Since a lot of the different generations of graphic designers seem to be watching today, and they might later on as well on YouTube, is there something we haven't asked you, or something that you would like to say that you've noticed as a difference, or something that's interesting in your field these days?
Let me think about that. So, generation wise, yeah, just it's interesting to see people kind of not understand a different way of approach when they see, for example, a young Gen Z graphic designer who tries something with social media, and from an older experienced designer who made paved their way. I think that's correct way of saying it. They, for example, put their stuff in galleries, and the company notices them. And I'm not sure their way of doing things, but it's different to my way. And it's interesting to see people kind of not understanding this new way, where to me it seems pretty logical to use what you have right now, to use the opportunity of being in this generation of internet and use it to your advantage, I guess.
Okay, Barbara confirms that by saying nope to TikTok. So there are different places where you hang out, I suppose. So it's kind of nice actually to have you on LinkedIn, where maybe different generations can converge and share experience.
Yeah.
And talk about this exciting part of art that doesn't get talked about as a creative industry as much, I'd say. I think one thing that we haven't mentioned is that Roko will be part of our team now to create some video shorts. Maybe we'll turn up on TikTok and Instagram as well. I don't know. I can't promise.
That is the goal.
We'll see if we can reach different audiences as well. And get some negative comments. I think this is where you know you've made it.
Yeah, you will be surprised.
What is interesting now in graphic design as a new thing? Is there something that you are working on at the moment or learning about that you find curious?
Right now, I would say a lot more hands-on work. So being technical with your hands, some, I would say, analog design, I think would be the proper way of describing it. So drawing, graphic like printing, and then turning that into something is something I'm doing right now in college. And for me, in general, I always feel a lot more comfortable on a computer and doing digital stuff. So kind of breaking through that and doing some stuff with my hands, drawing and stuff like that. I think it's interesting and something new for me.
So it's the other way around from the older generations. So now we go from digital to analog rather than vice versa.
You
Do you
could say
think
that.
that's also a reaction to AI, that people want to feel things to be a bit more real and tangible these days?
Yeah, of course. I think people understand a lot more when you do something physical. They kind of recognize it because maybe as in the younger when they were younger, they also used to draw and do all kind of creating things as kids do, and they find themselves in that when they see someone doing something creative, a designer, something hands-on, where they maybe don't understand like programs like Photoshop and all the digital kind of stuff.
It's a bit more universal, speaks to our creative nature. But I think I love it how younger designers are going analog and we needed to go to digital. Yeah, so two opposite directions, but then again meeting at the same place.
Yep.
Of love for creativity. We talked about how colleges don't necessarily help you with the business part of things, with self-promotion, with turning up on social media or elsewhere. What would you say to young people who are considering graphic design now as a university option, for instance? Would you still tell them that it's a good path and that they should first get this kind of theoretical knowledge before trying?
I think it's still an amazing path. I know a lot of people are scared of AI and stuff like that, but I think there's a long way to go where maybe AI completely replaces us, but I truly think that won't be the case anytime soon, maybe ever, because there's a lot of AI backlash right now, especially in creative fields. And when it comes to graphic design, I would say the sooner you start to practice, the better. Even though you might not know the theory behind it, what you should do and shouldn't do, I think the more you become comfortable with these design programs like Illustrator, the better you will be at the end of the day. I think that's one thing I need right now. I think I went through all the phases kind of learning about design, and I know a lot. The one thing I need right now is a lot of practice, I think, as someone kind of starting out right now. And the sooner the better, I truly feel. And the sooner you start posting your work anywhere, it doesn't have the way I do it, just somewhere. I think it's better.
Yeah, and we have another fan of being analog and doing it with imperfections. So it says LinkedIn user, but it's Arnold. Hi, Arnold. AI can't replicate the effort put in by hand, nor can it match the imperfections that add character. So yeah,
Completely agree.
So learning by doing, and doing it when you're not completely ready, so that you can get some feedback and feel a bit more encouraged to make mistakes. I think that's a universal message,
Yeah.
whatever topic we talk about. This could be a good moment to mention that this is your first podcast appearance, even though you have a lot of experience with videos online. How does that feel, breaking the ice?
Yeah, it's different. It's my first podcast and live stream at the same time. So a great combination for the first time, but I don't know. I kind of get used to it after some time. We talked. It's the same as talking to a camera. It's a little different, of course, because I'm actually talking to people in real time, not just myself. So that's the different part. But I think I could get used to it. It's my first time and still a bit nervous, but it's not that different to the things that I've been doing up until now.
Would you encourage other people to do it?
I would, even though it might seem scary. I think it's a great experience and really unique to have yourself out there in real time talking something. I wouldn't be able to experience it if it wasn't for this.
So we haven't discouraged you with the
Yeah.
cheese interludes.
what
Excellent.
is there to be discouraged about? Okay, never mind. We have a kind of a comments flood in the comment section. Barbara said, disagree with this one. I said it was, I would say it was said a couple of minutes ago. Basics are the most important part of a graphic design because technology changes, basics are always the same no matter the media. So, Rocco, would you feel that you missed something because you just jumped with technology?
This is the part where I kind of differ in the opinion of other graphic designers. I find a lot of people say to me it's, for example, really important to learn how to draw to be a graphic designer, and I feel, in my opinion, that it's not the case. I think you can approach graphic design in a lot of different ways, even if you don't know the basics, in my opinion, and kind of find your thing, find your niche, somewhere where you will be successful. I think learning basics, you should do that at some point, of course. The earlier the better, but even if you don't know them, even if you fail, even if you produce some things that in 5 years you will look back and feel that they were really bad. I think that's all good to see your growth as a designer, as a person, as a creative, and the more you fail, the more you learn. That's my opinion.
Okay, I'm seeing that we're going to be really popular on TikTok. We're starting with some controversial topics, so yeah. Vishnya says, "Congrats on doing your first podcast, Roko."
Thank you so much.
And what you talked about, just doing with some errors. Arnold say you can start by fixing bad designs, a great way to learn. For example, redesigning the print of handouts of the homeless in Croatia. So, yeah, they don't have the budget, but you still can help them with
Yep.
this, of course. And Barbara replies to your part about drawing. No, I don't think you must know how to draw. You must know basic design principles and elements. Everything else follows.
I agree. I agree that the basic design principles is something that knowing that is something that makes you a graphic designer at the end of the day. But even not knowing the really every nuance in that part, I think you could start making design, which maybe yeah that's the part I was getting to. So learning through your failure by not knowing maybe every basic is a good thing, and I think I regret that I didn't make more bad stuff when I started learning design, because I would learn exactly what basic principles are in design.
Yeah, yeah. And I would say this is a great. Before we start with any going deeper in this design topics, I would say we all learn this way the best by making mistakes. When you make a mistake, you learn that. If you learn that by in the book, okay, yeah, it's clear, and you still make the mistake, and then you learn.
Yeah. It's really different to learn the theory, what to do and what to do, and to actually do it, and then realize your mistake, have a professor point it out, have people point it out, and then you really notice what's good and what's not so good.
Yeah. Barbara said, I know we will get to the same page. So, yeah, no fight here. No
Yeah.
graphic designer fight.
Damn it.
I
We
hope
failed
for
that
that one to be
controversy.
really interesting for TikTok, but
Roko will edit
nothing.
it so that it's more
Yeah, it's
fiery.
something mean, good versus bad and dark versus. Okay.
We need a marriage of theory and practice. Basically, we can't just exist in some ether, but we can't just do things blindly either. At the end of the day, it's important to be seen and heard so that other people can react and teach you and have these conversations.
Exactly.
Perfectly
Okay.
said.
Is there something we haven't asked you, something that you'd like to comment on or mention for our audience?
Again, putting me on the spot. I
You can
didn't
talk about
prepare.
cheese. You can always talk about cheese.
I know. Now I'm hungry, but no, I'm not sure. One thing I like doing and find find a lot a joy in it is motivating people. That's one way of me using my platform, especially TikTok and Instagram, when I make my posters and talk about stuff. I like to kind of uh, put something positive in all of that and talk about how people can improve. Uh, Again, me firstly, I know I'm not perfect right now, and every day I can work on myself and be better than I was yesterday. So I try to put out a lot of positive things in the world, and the only thing I receive back when I do that is positive things, people motivating me back, and a lot of great experiences, sharing that experiences with people. So I think a lot of people should kind of try to do that, at least motivate themselves first, then motivate others to do better. And I think that's how we make a better world for ourselves, at least our small circle of people we could improve.
That's a lovely message for the end. This is
Yeah.
where people can find you, but on LinkedIn as well.
No. I must say, please, Rocco, add LinkedIn
Of course,
link
of course.
to your link tree also, because it's like there isn't any LinkedIn link
yeah.
there yet.
Because firstly I started with these 4 platforms. Even now I think there is Facebook, but I don't really post there because I didn't find myself there with the demographics, so I need to edit that a little bit. But right now LinkedIn will be put right after this.
Yeah, great.
Perfect. Thank you for coming today. It was lovely to have you as our first guest this year. Thank you to everyone in the comments for making this a lively episode and for rejoining us after our break. Take care, everyone.
Thank you and bye.
Bye.